Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33, teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning, everybody. It is the 3rd of March. We've got another Monday mantra. I cannot believe it is already the 3rd month of the year. If you haven't got your journals out, get them out because we've got some things to discuss. And remember, I switch my healing abilities all on so that it's a transmission for you and a shift. And so every time you listen to these Monday mantras, remember each one is like a chapter of a book that all merges. They don't make sense without the previous week or the week after. So take note, listen to these a few times a week, go back to a few because you're going to be receiving that transmission anyway. Now, I want to thank you all for the lovely messages for my well-being last week. I saw most of them. I know some of you emailed Karen, some were in the group chat, some were in YouTube, some were in social media stories. Thank you so much. And thank you for just receiving me the way that I was, because I wasn't feeling very good. It was a very, very heavy week. Lots of napping before clients because the energy was so heavy for what people were releasing, which is what I want to talk about today also. So let's get into it. Let's do a recap first of last week's Monday mantra, and then we will make the transition into this week's Monday mantra. So last week I set the Monday mantra, or we set, as in terms of me and the spirit guides, the guidance that I receive, as a decision I make now will unveil a part of the puzzle. A decision I make now will unveil a part of the puzzle. May the decision we all make in the week that we've just had, even this week, because it's still, we're still making decisions, to release what we truly desire. And this means focusing on our goals without placing unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Instead, we should attune our third eye, which is highly activated at the moment, guiding us to recognize and embrace our deepest motivations. Okay, so obviously you all know how I started the week last week. I was not feeling energetically good, and it went on for a while during the week until I'd finished seeing clients, because it was my energy of my human state. It was the energy of the people that I'm working with, because I keep the Monday mantras very generic so that everybody has something they can pull from it. When I work with a person, I go into areas, secrets, mysteries, traumas, all sorts of things that involve me going into these wormholes of information. And so because of the way that I was feeling, I knew that by the end of the week, there was going to be a piece of the puzzle for me unveiled, just like how I would have provided a piece of the puzzle for the clients that saw me, and even those of you listening to the Monday mantra, because you are meant to apply it to your life, even if the opposite is happening, because I'm always focusing on the light side of things rather than bringing in fear or anything like that. So with our third eyes, like my third eye has been so active that it's really guiding us to look at the missing piece of the puzzle. And I have to say, last week, I was confronted by my own issues in terms of what I'm here on earth to learn and let go of. And it really was so revealing for me, because I realized that my deepest motivations were being pushed along with certain amounts of control that I actually don't have, because we can't control everything. We have to trust. And so when I talk about the decisions that we are making, what I noticed with the clients I had last week, because I too apply the Monday mantra to the client that I'm seeing, like, why is the soul here seeing me at this time? If we are trying to manifest our whatever we're wanting to manifest, some goal, some dream, some feeling, something, right? Everybody usually wants something. We have to start with the basic decisions that we're making at home and how we live our lives day to day. So if you are aspiring to get a new job or to have the dream, whatever, it's not actually what you're doing towards that. It's what you are doing at home, because everything is connected. How are you recovering and healing from your issues? How are you looking at making decisions that are empowering for you, which is like last week's energy also, and the week before. So it all starts from the decisions, the basic decisions that we're making at home, which creates the energy to facilitate that we do trust or that we are willing to look at our shadow sides. So with this third eye information that we're getting, we're being asked to consider the bigger picture, because we're all acutely, and I as a woman know this because I will be acutely focusing and trying to control something. And I can't, because there's a bigger picture involved with it. And so this is where we're trying to understand the continuous and cyclic journey. Because from what I vaguely remember of clients, people are wanting something. They're wanting to have healthy bodies. They're wanting jobs. They're wanting to achieve something and move somewhere. But then they're not doing the basic things at home to empower them. The basic things in their lives of, we've been cutting cords. Some people aren't cutting cords from the people that are destroying them and hurting them and controlling them or manipulating them. That's where we are beginning. And that's what I really understood, because Spirit kept hammering this message home to all my clients last week. And I was like, oh my God, these are the decisions. These are the decisions that are going to be cultivating the correct empowered energy to get what we want, whatever that is, because what we want is never exactly how we're envisioning, because that's the sense of control, that something didn't turn up the way we expected. And that's part of the problem. I'm going to see what else comes out of my mouth. I'm going to keep going. By opening all of our senses, including our third eye, you can gain a deeper perspective and make empowered decisions, allowing obstacles to begin to fall away. I will pick up immediately when I'm working with a client if this person is how they're feeling in terms of whether they're in alignment with their lives. And a lot of the people last week were not in alignment with their lives, and I wasn't either, because that was the feeling that I had from showing up here in my pajamas for you last week and feeling very lethargic and very energy zapped. And this is where we're needing to really consider that we are creating who we are by everything that we do, everything that we consume, every person we choose to have in our lives. And the sense of mystery and potential resolution that's coming in is acknowledging the part of ourselves that is not making the decisions based on what we know is good for our highest good. We're basing it on how we're feeling in our state of desperation, our state of fear, our state of unworthiness, our state of not trusting, a state of trying to control, which is one of my things. I always tell everybody, I know this about me. I'm a controller, which is really interesting for someone who has spiritual gifts, because in that work, I cannot control. So it's a very interesting, because we all will have that shadow side to our light, but they can work together. So on a practical level, prioritize your tasks and manage your time efficiently while adapting to changing circumstances. And so those are the decisions that we're making within that circumstance of what are we prioritizing that is a routine for us, or that is our go-to tools to make us feel better. Like after I finished recording the Monday Mantra last week, I stayed moping for a bit. Then I got up and I mopped the house and I did all of the things, because I knew that I'm going to do a little bit and then come back to the way I'm feeling, doing a little bit, because I was like, I'm trying to empower myself. We're going to move through this. And then as I saw client by client, my energy started to return. Being bold and confident in who you are by embracing your strengths and abilities. So I could see all my shadow sides last week, but at the end of it, I realized that I can use the shadow sides as a strength with the abilities that I have. Because like I said, I've got control things that I'm like trying to unravel. Where is the control from? Why am I trying to control this? And then I've got my spiritual side that just knows, the third eye that just knows. Your inner masculine encourages you to share your power by setting clear, achievable goals. That's in your day-to-day life. Even, I know some people, like, sorry it takes me so long to reply to YouTube messages and things, but I do read them. And again, thank you so much. It means so much that you're here with me on this journey as well. And I noticed that people are like feeling they've never been more lost before. They're really struggling. It's so common right now. We're all feeling that in some way. But this is why we need to have those achievable goals that remind us that we are worthy and that we are capable, because then when we accomplish things, we can extend the goal out a little bit more. Sometimes it's literally just being able to get through the day with small achievable tasks towards the wider picture or the energy that you are trying to cultivate. So if you're trying to get a job, but you're feeling like a misery guts at home and you're not feeling empowered, it's very unlikely that a job is going to align for you because you're not emanating that energy. And so these capable goals, to be able to accomplish them, is going to bring the energy up that you need. It's important to remember that we do not need to have all the answers right now to achieve perfection, to move forward. There is no perfection. This is the thing I wanted to mention also. Like, I'm a very practical person. This is why control comes in. I'm not always with my head in the clouds. And what I know is that when things are predicted for us, or a future projection is presented by an intuitive person, we need to let go of that. Meaning, because in our head, we start dreaming up, oh, they said I'm going to meet someone, he's going to be perfect, or she's going to be wonderful. Oh, I'm going to have a really successful business. But then all the challenges along the way and all the people, the lovers and the haters and all of that stuff, it's like we have to just let go of that perfection and instead just being kind and supportive of yourself. Like, I had to be really kind to myself. I went and had a massage. I was eating really nourishing things because I knew that I needed that kind of nurturing energy. And so my masculine energy was, trying not to control everything, but putting accomplishable goals like that. I'm going to make something delicious to eat. I'm going to get through this client and then I can rest. And so it's like, what are you saying yes or no to, both in yourself and others? Are you inviting in more pain, suffering, and trauma? Or are you saying yes to more of knowing that this is the time to change? We had the new moon energy, and I was feeling particularly miserable on the new moon because I had clients that day and I knew I was picking up some very, very deep traumas for them beforehand. After I'd finished, I felt great. So it was like this new moon did have a very clearing and cleansing energy to it. And so the sensitivity that I was feeling was the strong connection I had to the surroundings. So you would have been feeling it in your own way. And while there was feelings of insecurity, feeling like passive at times, like, oh, I just can't do anything, it's like this, it was this time to really engage in the creative aspects of our spiritual pursuits, which could be art, which could be music. Like, I was trying to cultivate different senses last week. So food, I love to cook. I was making things. I was listening to music. It was, music changes our how we feel, and so our state of being. And so these pursuits can help us tap into imagination to regain our footing. So we are all regaining our footing at the moment, for parts of us that we thought were going to be perfect, for the parts that we thought were going to, where we were going to be able to control other people or control the outcome. There is a bigger picture at play, and we need to let go of this idea of this perfect way, or other people are going to be perfect. Like, we may be in relationships with people, friendships with people, that person's not perfect. There are going to be conflicts, there are going to be things that come up. And so this is about, we're regaining our footing. So the new moon did give us an opportunity to connect to our inner power and find it again, even if you were one of the ones like me feeling very sensitive and very emotional. But it's also to embrace our current reality. Like, if we can accept our current reality and our contribution to why we are the way that we are at the moment, and why we're inviting in particularly not very good relationships or experiences that are challenging, it's coming back again to the decisions that we are making. And we need to harness our potential to actually create the life we desire. Take charge and lead yourself towards your dreams, trusting in your abilities and intuition to illuminate the way. Because remember, your intuition is coming from lifetimes before, it's coming from wisdom that you have. But intuition is not coming from the traumas that we've experienced, because that is our pain points. That's the parts that we're trying to heal as we go along. So as we are triggered, we want to shift energy at the time, understand what is this piece of the puzzle that I'm missing, that I'm coming up against this brick wall. And so this is why I set homework exercises on the app that are intuitively guided at the time for whatever needs shifting at the time to be shifted out. So I feel, let me know what happened for you for the new moon. Did you intend intentions? Did you create something towards your dreams? Or were you, like what I was feeling, just regaining our footing and knowing that these basic decisions are what I'm needing or what you're needing to do to be able to come back to that place of trusting ourselves, trusting the insight we receive, igniting passion again, remembering that faith is the spark that ignites our passion and inspires us to take action, is having faith, remembering that things are passing, things are cyclic, but we are still all unveiling pieces of the puzzle. So what decisions did you make last week that empowers you, even if the outcome is uncertain? I really dug around in my shadow side and tuned into why I was feeling the way that I was from my part of it, because I knew that a lot of it was client energy also. Let me know what you did to empower yourself last week. What piece of the puzzle was unveiled for you? It was Mahashivaratri last week in alignment with the new moon energy. So Lord Shiva's energy was around, and we're being reminded not to give up during this peak energy of creation. It may feel like destruction. It may feel like, I don't know what to do, where to go, how to behave. But through that darkness, it's this auspicious time for empowerment and what we are seeking in this lifetime. So Shivaratri was celebrated. It was a big festival in India. Too bad I wasn't there at the time, but it was about the light and the dark. And so I could really see why I was telling my best friend, I said, I'm extraordinary in so many ways, a real fool in other ways too. And that I know that about myself. And so when I'm confronted by anything, I'll be like, yep, no, I know. I know that about myself. But it's the devotion to our introspection, to empower ourselves to make decisions that reinforce that we do have faith. Okay, as we move through, the card that came up last week was Triumph. And I loved that because it was Ganesha's card, the elephant god. And as you know, if you've been following me through my India journey, I got to meet that beautiful elephant. And life presents us with these choices about how we perceive our experiences and what actions we would take in response. So things happen, and then part of the Earth School test is, how is she going to respond to that? Is she going to freak out? Is she going to sabotage again? Is she going to control? Is she going to trust? And sometimes it may seem like we face a series of obstacles standing in the way of our desires. But what if those challenges are actually guiding us closer to triumph? And I could see that last week. I could see when I got out of my, I'm feeling everybody's energy right now. My things are too much for me. They actually do serve us a valuable lesson connected to our contributions, gifts, or careers in this world. So, I saw a number of medical professionals last week, and a lot of them were unable to work at this point because of various issues that they're facing. But I realized it wasn't that they weren't meant to be doing that in some way. It was just because they were making decisions that were not empowering them to be able to share their gifts. So what is the lesson that's coming up based on your current situation? And how are you being asked to triumph or become triumphant from that situation? So that card came up to remind us that triumph embodies a state of victory or success, overcoming or reaching those accomplishments, feeling like we are accomplished, even if it's the most littlest accomplishment, which is getting out of bed and brushing your teeth, often accompanied by joy and elation from significant achievements or overcoming hurdles. In this light, it's important to recognize that overcoming challenges is what ultimately makes the outcome worthwhile. Yeah, I'm getting information about that, but I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. So what did you hear from that? Let me know down below. What did you hear from in this light? It's important to recognize that overcoming challenges is what ultimately makes the outcome worthwhile. We want everything to be easy. How I wish sometimes that things were easy, but they're not meant to be easy all the time. We are meant to go through it with ease, but we make it more difficult because we are trying to control. We're trying to have expectations. We were expecting perfection. And when I talk about bringing heaven to earth, that's the ultimate goal, because it's like when when I channel, it's like, oh, I can see what this person's potential is, but they've got all of these things in the way that they need to overcome to be able to get to that potential. The underlying message here with this card was that even in difficult times, we must maintain faith. It's not just about feeling a temporary exhilaration and pride that come with achieving a goal. It's about embodying a lasting sense of empowerment, regardless of our circumstances. But I love that message for us, and I love that it came through for in the week of making decisions, being empowered, puzzle pieces being unveiled. The extended meaning of the Monday mantra: making decisions often involves uncovering the root cause of whether our power comes from empowerment or from fear, control, or unworthiness. Understanding why we are the way we are is essential for overcoming our suffering and allowing ourselves to unravel, enabling our true confidence to shine. This process allows us to align with what the universe intends for us rather than obstructing our path. We are going to be experiencing miracles through our pain if we just let go and unravel. And unravel might mean having a meltdown for a while and then building up from there. And this last week, I was really compelled to confront a part of myself that has been hidden and untouched for a long time. And I made the decision to face it head on. And when I was doing this, I actually nearly fainted because it was a part of me that I've been suppressing, which I didn't know I was suppressing, but because it was the week of everything unveiling, it was like my way of having time out was, I think I'm going to pass out. It was like an unconscious programming. So it was very fascinating observing myself. So let me know how that Monday mantra played out for you, and what is it that you are applying to your life from these lessons to allow the miracle to come in, because the miracles come in when we have faith. Remember, I'm always here for you, and I know you all know that I am one person doing my very, very best to be able to cater to all of you in some way. And I know many of you are still waiting. It's always the right time when you come. This is why we just have to let it go, because it really depends on the timing your soul is meant to come. You know, the week of the Monday mantra you're arriving in. Like, so if you're going to be seeing me and you've got an appointment booked, check the Monday mantra for the week. Like, what's the Monday mantra? What's the energy that you're coming in when you're seeing me? But there are many readings, obviously personalized meditations. You've got your homework on the app. You've got, various ways to connect with me. And Kieran is the person to email with the appropriate subject title, because we do get a lot of emails, soul33@gmail.com. And thank you for your patience and reply times. We will get back to you, but everyone is responded to individually, so it just takes a little bit of time. And remember, the app is only $60 a year, and it's an external link, and so we can keep the price the way that it is, and Kieran has that link for you also. So it's a little bit of an extra step, but I had to do that in order to make it affordable for everybody. And we are working on upgrading and doing all of that, which is exciting. That will come in due course. Okay, your Monday mantra for this week, the beginning of March, and you'll have a new meditation this week, and it's going to be part of my India journey, and so that will be exciting. I upload that usually on the first Thursday in New Zealand of every month, a new upload. Okay, your Monday mantra: I'm creating my life at this stage. I am patient as the rest arrives. I am creating my life at this stage. I am patient as the rest arrives. We have eclipse season coming up, and the eclipse comes in a week or so, but it's like setting us up right at the beginning to help ignite our inner fire. March is all about reclaiming our power. So that's your March meditation on the app that you'll be doing every week or every day or whatever you want to do. This inner fire, this inner power encompasses all aspects of power: the power to decide, the power in your gifts, the power to leave, the power to stay, and the list goes on. Your spiritual strength will be ignited to support your decisions that we've been making. This week, there is luck in the air, a fortunate energy. That's why I keep hearing miracles, miracles. A fortunate energy to help us ignite our passions. It is so important that we all have a dream, and the dream doesn't have to be some big extravagant thing. The dream is knowing what you are here to do and working towards that, even if it's not meant to be something you're doing full time. And to be able to ignite passion, it starts from feeling joyful and positive with the everyday decisions we make. I'm not always feeling joyful and positive, but I know what makes me do feel that way, and I generally will add bits in to start bringing that energy up. If something doesn't work out as you expected, laugh about it. Just laugh about it and release your expectations for the next time. It's really about trying again, because remember last week we said this is not the time to give up. It's about trying again with the acceptance, knowing that if you act from a place of love and maintain loving thoughts, which I know can be hard sometimes because the mind is so irrational, especially when we've had past traumas, the outcome will be what's best for all. Do you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing people can change. People can change. Now, I know not everybody can change. This is not about staying in abusive situations or anything, but I am hearing people can change. And I know that in my own life, seeing things around me where my intuition telling me to hang on to something or persevere worked out for me in the end. And so people can change. Whoever needs to hear that. So you will feel the love of your ancestors cheering you on. Like I've been feeling my grandmother around a lot, and it's really funny because my intuitive friends will message me during the week going, oh, I can feel your grandmother around you. So it's like validating for me as a medium for my own life. You'll feel the love of your ancestors cheering you on. Even at times when you feel impatient, they're the ones that are going to be telling you, wait for the fruit to be ripe. Move your body, exercise, dance, and have fun to free yourself from impatience. Being away, I haven't done any exercise, so my intention this week is to get back into some exercise again. So a movement, whatever way to move your body, because moving your body does make you feel a lot better, even if it's a bit hard to get the motivation to do that. This week, you are embodying the power of the crone, which signifies that what is true will always prevail because you possess integrity in who you are and what you know. And so I always feel and have to remind myself, I show up here every week, as you know, regardless of whatever's going on in my life and whatever I look like, because that's just the way I am at the moment. And I know that everything I do comes from a good place. I know that I charge for the app the basic that I can so that everybody can afford it. I know my intentions are pure. I know that what I offer is coming from a good place. It's coming from the light to ensure that everyone is progressing their soul. And we need to hold on to what we know about ourselves, because there's going to be things and people around us that make us, will trigger the insecurity inside us that will question that. And it's good to question it for a minute and then go back to, actually, I do know who I am and what my intentions are. You have integrity in your soul. Life will unfold as it is meant to while you create your inner vision. So remember what the Monday mantra is. At this stage, because we change at every stage in our lives. And sometimes, life throws this spanner in the works and we're like, what do we do with that? That's a new stage for us to figure out, what are we creating? Because we change. Every decade we change. Every birthday we change. This week, you are embodying the power of the crone, okay? So the term crone traditionally refers to a woman that's older, associated with wisdom, the experience that she has, sometimes even a connection to magic, which we like, or the supernatural. So she has a wisdom. And in various cultures and narratives, the crone is depicted as a wise elder, healer, a guide. This is the ancestral energy still coming through. This is why my grandmother's around me, because she was the biggest crone, like with her books of herbs and plucking things from the garden and brewing it and making me drink it. While the term can carry negative connotations, that will just be fear in people because people feared crones and witches and, And so this connotation for this week, the crone, is associated with celebrating the empowerment and the strength and the valuable knowledge that comes with age. And I'm not talking about just chronological age, the age that we are living in, the age of this lifetime that we're in, the age of technology, the age of Aquarius, all of those things is what that means. Within the female archetype, the crone represents the third stage of a woman's life following the maiden and the mother. All of these stages enable you to teach and share with others because we are learning from each stage. That was the example that was given to me. So whether you're a male or a woman, it doesn't matter. The crone wisdom is coming in of intuitive knowing. There is magic in the air. This is a miracle-filled week, fun, powerful energy to ignite your strength. Remember, opposites of the Monday mantra are true also. So that's when we have to bring the Monday mantra back to what we are designing, what we are creating. This is why I gave you Crone Power Life of Design as one of the meditations and exercises to do on the app. Okay, I'm going to get you to close your eyes for a moment, and I'm going to give you your action first. So close your eyes and listen to the action. What steps will you take to realign with your inner calling? Have you identified your dream? Tell us in the group chat or on YouTube comments what that means to you. So we're in the third month of the year. It's time to reclaim our power. And we're going to activate the third eye now so that you can have your inner vision present externally, so that you know how to create your life at this stage. And inside of you, the inner crone is being cultivated so that you have something that you wish to share based on the experiences, the wisdom, the knowledge that you have. You may be called to teaching or helping people, but knowing that you are creating who you are with every decision that you make. You're being initiated. You're reconnecting with all of your ancestors, particularly feminine ancestors, women that have gone before you. And this is a week also to come back to self-love, reconnecting to your true self. So giving you all of that energy, reminding you that I'm always here for you. I am one person, but there's always ways to connect. And the person to email is Kieran@soul33@gmail.com. Your Monday mantra: I'm creating my life at this stage. And as I'm saying stage two, if you're a performer, you might be standing on a stage to teach or to share something. So let us know. I am patient as the rest arrives. Sending you the most amazing insight and clarity this week.